Some people are probably going to be rather upset by this one, but it does make sense. The reason that Deadpool 3 will have a longer post-production time than Deadpool 1 and 2 is very simple. They want to get it right, and they're also going to be very CG heavy in the post-production process. Look, CG gets a bad rep. Sometimes it's deserved. Thor: Love and Thunder had some of the most criminally offensive CG I've seen in a blockbuster that cost $250 million, while at the same time, literally a scene that followed could have some of the best I've seen. So again, CG does sometimes get a bad rep, but it's all in the execution. Recently, Sean Levy, the director of Deadpool 3, was talking about the whole process of developing Deadpool 3 and why exactly the film is going to shoot in the spring of 2022, but not see a release till fall of 2024. About 8 months longer than a typical Deadpool post-production time, and he said, well, it's very simple. This film will be more digitally CG heavy. It's also going to need more post-production time because they want to get it right and make sure that the CG looks good. And also, they want to make sure that nothing feels off about the film, that it's truly a sequel to Deadpool, but that it also plays into what they needed to, and nothing feels like it was sacrificed in the post-production or during the development. Look, you guys know I'm not one of these people who loves film and hates CG. Again, sometimes, yes, there's CG that's really bad and I will point it out, but a lot of the time, some of the CG we see, we can't even tell it's CG because of the way it's integrated into real sets or how much time they spent on post-production. And many times, that's when it really kind of sticks out as something that's truly helpful in immersing you into a scene and making you believe that you're there. Again, I know not a lot of people are fans of the Rings of Power on Amazon, but some of the CG in that show and how they blended it with real sets, you can't tell. It's some of the best CG I've ever seen, especially when they do the big locations like revealing Numenor, for example. It's seamless. You can't tell it's CG. It's that good. And something like Game of Thrones, which was running at the same time, you could tell some of that stuff was CG because, again, lower budgets and quicker post-production cycles. This, I understand. Deadpool 3, I think all of us want it to feel like a true Deadpool sequel while also offering up an insight into what the character is going to be like in the MCU. That's a fine balance, and CG will play a huge part in it, especially with how they're hyping up the violence. This film is going to need a lot of CG to make sure that, well, the violence and Wolverine slicing and dicing looks good. So I'm honestly never opposed to CG as long as you take your time and you make it look good. So I don't think we should be bad at this because let's be real. If they cut on the CG, do you want Deadpool looking like She-Hulk? Out of place in certain scenes? Didn't think so. So let's not harp on CG and let's wait and see what the final result is like.